The building company collapses into obscurity. Meanwhile, your government's down in Canberra debating racism and how they can find better ways to fuck you. Let's have a look at this one. Aussie company Clark Holmes goes into administration, better known as Hotondo. Quite a few of you would have seen that one around before. These guys collapsed owing $3 to $4 million, and another hundred or so people owed money, wages, subcontractors, not to mention all the homeowners that paid deposits. But this crisis continues, and your government continues to do nothing with its thumb completely up its arse. And then yesterday, Oceania Glass has collapsed into administration. These guys make architectural glass. They were the last manufacturer of architectural glass products in Australia. And they're gone. They're gone because the Chinese have been dumping cheap products into Australia for years and they just couldn't compete. This is why tariffs exist. If there were tariffs on the Chinese dumping their cheap, shitty products into Australia, Oceania Glass may have had an opportunity to survive. Anyone who argues against tariffs is arguing against an Australian manufacturing industry. Affordability blows, construction costs continue to rise. And this is a no brainer. This is really, really simple to understand. The decimation of your building industry should be one of the most shameful things that's ever happened in this country, along with our manufacturing base. This was the tail end of COVID. This was what we were always going to end up with. Thousands and thousands of building companies that have gone under, a manufacturing sector that's completely and utterly decimated right now. The inability to make any of the products that are imported into a house in Australia. And then just to top it all off, only less than 1% of the migrants we brought into the country in the last 24 months had any fucking construction skills. Like, we can't make anything, we can't afford to do anything, we can't get permits to do anything, and we're hampered with rules and regulations that make it really difficult to operate a business in this economy. But none of your leadership are talking about that. All they're talking about is racism and hate and censorship laws. The real problem here is your economy is collapsing, Australia. You introduce national construction codes and laws and rules and regulations around what builders are allowed to build, and suddenly you make it unaffordable to build. Suddenly you put more stress on supply chains, and our supply chains are China.